Woo! Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. hmm Yeah, it was insane. Hopping on a bus to travel states is wild. I've always wanted to do that, and that was an interesting experience. But I won't say it wasn't fun. Hanging out with everybody in Virginia Beach was fantastic. Like the energy was so amazing. I fucking loved it. Yeah, and the event was fantastic. Had so much fun. Mhm. When I stepped into that store, I was not expecting that much space. Like that store is huge for So all the card shops like near me, not as big. Probably not even half the size, a little smaller. Super nice atmosphere. The owners and the employees were super nice and chill. Some of the guys who were there playing in the tournament were also really nice and super clean. The I like the layout of the store. It's just big monitors and screens everywhere. There's like a bunch of advertisements always playing. It's fantastic. hmm Okay. um, but the event was fantastic. Yeah. Oh, good.
Wait, yeah, it should be good now.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going. Do you think?
The event was a lot of fun. I never played in something that big in a sense of like just the space made it a lot less cumbersome to just move around. So it felt like there was a lot more freedom just to move around in between rounds, and it was super fun.
Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, absolutely. Booster Box, relatively new shop to that area, kind of making a
okay.
huge impact. Obviously getting product for like the community as far as Vanguard itself, and then kind of moving into Shadowverse as well and stuff like that, which is the new hotness that we'll talk about a little bit. But I'm glad that turned out 30 players. Like I said before, it was five rounds we had, and then cut the top eight. Uh,
Mm.
there were some people that said they were coming, couldn't come, but I was expecting about 25 to 30, which is good for a first time essentially event in the Virginia Beach area as far as like with booster box and stuff like that. Top eight mats were fantastic. Obviously, they've been around the screen for our opening and intermission and stuff like that. As far as the Bruce mat by Vishap Slayer, who you should definitely follow on Twitter, and that's VISHAP. I'll just put it in the chat. It'll be there.
But yeah, those mats were fucking sick. Oh, it was so good. That Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, the Bruce is
his
very
style is so
nice.
clean. It's very like it's like sketched lines. It's so nice.
Yeah, and then we also had, of course, some giveaways from our sponsor, which is Lionheads Gaming,
hmm
um, who obviously has like not only the Tema Euromats, two people had won that, but they'd also won the Archite tokens, which have been going around, which are solid like gold, very nice tokens as well. So you can definitely catch them. They've come out recently with like more stuff, and kind of ramping up as far as like their product releases. So you can check them out at lionsheadgaming.com. That'll be in the chat as well. And you have what do you have, Eddie, from them? I forgot what you have from them.
I have the Archite token and I've got the Tommy mat, and both are super nice. I really enjoy them a lot. I want to use that Archite token soon. I do want to pick up those doofy little plant tokens that they got
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
the other website. I love them so much. They're so cute.
The thing with the plant tokens now, because well, I guess it's not really plant. I guess it's fairy tokens. But like with so many of the booster games using tokens, as far as like
Mhm.
we have the tokens obviously in Vanguard, and then now with Shadowverse coming as well, those will come in handy as well.
Yeah.
Because if you have any luck opening boxes, you definitely gonna get all the tokens that you need as far as for
Mhm.
your decks at all. And then big props if you want to see like everything as far as like I'm pretty much top eight is on VG-paradox.com. Of course, Fuzzy Paradox to get everything as far as standard. English, Japan. He had a busy weekend that weekend because not it was not only us, but it was like there were like 6 other tournaments going on at the time, so I'm sure he was getting like swarmed with messages of like, "Oh, this is coming on, this is happening, this is happening."
Oh
But
my God,
man's doing the Lord's work there.
he really is, man, making those pie charts.
No, for sure. And when you think about it, like as far as like all the events happening that have been happening, essentially, a lot of JP, a lot of English. The newest thing we've gotten, because now I guess the next wave of tournaments are shop challenges going on throughout for people to get their 1 round buy for
Hmm.
BCS, and the introduction of festival collection. Um, how do you think about that? Has it affected any of the decks you're playing, Eddie?
So the day it released, we'll go into the shop, bought a box, pulled the red Cray Elemental Overtrigger. I threw that into Mask, Pico Mask, and I had the most fun checking that card. Just 5 attacks or 6 attacks with something that's just massive as heck, and that deck also is just fun on its own. I haven't seen anything else come out of that, like anybody else building anything out of the festival collection. I just know that the OTs are being splashed into just a bunch of decks, and they're looking really, really nice. I'm getting ready to see Willista. Willista is on everybody's radar, I think, after this set.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, this is very strong. As far as it has multi attack, very very big numbers, and you can kind of you don't really have to play cards from hand either because of its effect of choosing 2 units and calling it to rear guard, and then obviously the Vanguard itself getting a 15, making it a 28 pre Persona ride kind of deal. So the dress up mechanic does help out a lot of cards. Ballista being the biggest one. The only other one that I've seen played, which was at a shop challenge that I went to recently, was Laura, the cat girl,
Yes,
Laura,
Lorana roll.
whatever.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, Tylenol. But mainly because it's the fact that you can't use Sentinels against it, and it gets
Yeah,
an extra
so strong.
drive and the extra drive check. And it was when it originally came out. Obviously, that was a very strong deck as well. Compared to Willista, was not as strong when it originally came out.
Mhm.
So whoever had believed in Willista since day one, congratulations to you. Yeah,
Paid off real
yeah,
well.
paid off real well. Holding on to those cards for the longest time. But did you go to
Um,
any shop challenges or just locals this week? What was going on?
just locals this week. I didn't know shop challenges were happening already. I should probably check that out. We're currently in works to, I think, setting up some shop challenges at our locals at Toy Wiz. So we'll see what happens.
You know where the perfect place to check that is the Bushi Navi app that came out. Search by stores. You can search by event. It'll let you know everything kind of like in your immediate radius. That's how I knew that there were pretty much no shop challenges in my immediate area.
Yeah, it's like a Pokemon Go for for Vanguard. Just what's here?
Yeah, and you can kind of spread it to multiple states if you feel like traveling. Um, like if I click, oh well, we'll get
If you
into
click on
Shadowverse later.
Toronto,
Like
Canada.
on Vanguard, and kind of search by conditions, it'll just show you in the immediate area. The next shop
Hmm.
challenges for standard, none. We had ours. I did make top 8, which
Hmm.
meant I got the cool promo for what's it called, Jejuled,
Yeah,
Pusa, getting the
Pusa.
Impusa in there, you know.
Pusa. Yeah, that card. Card does stuff for that deck. I don't know if I would say a lot, but I mean, an extra attack is quite nice.
It's an extra attack for free.
Yeah.
Also lets you kind of cycle what's in your soul. So you can grab like a Persona ride if you put it in there prior to. Um, so it has a lot of uses because like it's when you Soul Blast 4 if it hasn't been so you stand it right.
Mhm.
Obviously your Vanguard's gonna go to like 1 or something like that, so that helps that out. So you don't necessarily need the Counter Blast from Rock Auger. So it's another option. If you have Rock Auger, then yeah, cool. You still have the Counter Blast for it. It's just multi attack. Vanguard swinging in usually with a crit while you're at 1, so it's a lot of attack pressure. Um,
Yeah.
it's the theme of Vanguard pretty much as far as like multi attack crit pressure right now with a lot of power. That seems to be like the theme for like almost every deck, right?
Yeah,
You
we're
look
moving
at
into it.
where you look at even like Saya, you look at Willista, you look at Zorga. It's all multi attack with like a very very large amount of power. Uh,
Hmm.
Gandiva, of
Yeah.
course. So the big difference, I guess, would be really the Vanguard isn't as big but the mask turn in theory should be a Persona Red turn.
Right. And it's making your numbers small. So it's
Yeah,
almost like it
yeah,
kind
it's
of like
almost
it's the inverse.
exactly. It's making your numbers smaller because you're going to one essentially,
Yeah.
and the Vanguard swinging with the crit. So if you remove the Dredgewald itself, most people run like a mix of like either 4 and 4 or like four
Hmm.
and two or three, just so you can try to get that extra crit. But the big thing is people paying attention to that because it has to be removed from the game, and some people will just put it and drop it and try to put it in Soul with like other stuff. So
Oh,
like you
really?
gotta just yeah, people don't know. By people
Oh,
don't know,
okay.
I mean can't trust everybody.
Right. Right.
But
I mean, also to be fair, like on release, not a lot of people were playing the mass decks, so I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised that not a lot of people know.
yeah, not a people would know. But yeah, let's keep talking about Festival Booster 23 because, like I said, the recent release. Obviously, we have the kind of like a weird influx of pricing because everything kind of like shot up. Like, I would say like almost overnight, and they're still very much available. Uh,
Hmm.
the card that I'll say is Forbidal Surrogate, which is the grade 3 order. It is search up to a total 2 grade 3s or 2 grade 4s. You call 2 grade 3s, you call them to rear guard. If you choose 2 4s, you add into hand. Or put all the 4s into hand, call all the 3s, or whatever you do on that. Um, $6 card, just one day said, you know what? Let's go up to 16.
Yeah, insane. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think they're still probably like everywhere. So these prices are just nuts. But that card is fantastic for like all your grade 4 decks.
Well, even your some of your grade 3 decks as well. So for example, right, I'm gonna use Zorg as an example.
Hmm. Because you love that deck.
It's because of the deck I play, but I can use Wallista as well. But let's just start with Zorga, right? You call out a grade 3 Prison Dragon, you call out a Zorga Mask, and you have your dog out. After you Alchemy Magic, you can Soul Blast, add the mask to hand, then use the mask and drop in Persona right after.
Oh.
And then similar with what's going on, obviously, is similar with Wallista. You can call Wallista, and the grade 3 that's kind of blast restand. You know what I'm talking about? Gets like plus 15.
Yes. Yep, yep.
The main was such a fourth stagger, right? So
Hmm.
you call those 2 grade 3s out, but then you use Yuika to bounce your Wallista back for next turn, so you have Persona Ride for next turn.
Okay, so these that card is just really good in any deck that has a rigger that bounces something.
Not necessarily. It's just like a give and take kind of deal. Like it depends on kind of what
Hmm.
you're doing, because it like you also have to think like right. Let's say you're playing Overlord, right, and you're using an Overlord, and you need one Overlord in drop. You play that. You play your Arter Hatchet on top, and then you have Overlord and Soul for the end. And you can call like maybe the grade 3 from Festival that gets power when Force Emperor Dragon. It gets power like when
Yes.
you know. So there are uses for it. Like you just have to think about it, like of where you're putting it in, right? You put it in. Well, I would not play it in Ava, but you can technically have one turn where you pull out 2 Obscurades and call into rear guard, and they both have a crit
You
because it's
you
called the
can't
final
call
effect.
two of the same card.
Oh yeah, you can't call out 2 on the same card, but you call out an Obscurade, and let's say you call out a if you play like one X striker, or even just you can only it's up to, so you can call one.
Yeah.
Even then, it's still a card with a crit. So there are uses for it. It's just
Hmm. Some decks
figuring out.
utilize it way better than
Yeah,
others.
yeah. Some obviously way better than others, but is it $16 worth of value? No.
Yeah, I don't. It's a little niche. It's too niche of a card. There's like a lot of decks that don't really need all that piece support, and then there's some that it could be nice, but
It's a
yeah, I
one
don't
of.
think
I
it's
mean, it's a
16.
one of because it's a regalia piece on top of that,
Right.
so it's not.
So how often are you really gonna see it? Unless you could search it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and obviously with the amount of festival still available,
Yeah, for cheap too. It's relatively cheap set.
yeah, 35 to 40,
Hmm.
45 in some upper marked up states. The only thing that
Nice.
I learned was like in a case is that there's as far as like the reprint, special reprint, I guess. So that'd
Hmm.
be like the Eureka, Emmeline, and stuff like that. Those are 2 per case. So Uica being $34, that makes sense.
Holy crap.
That makes sense to me because obviously it's only two per case.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of absurd. Apparently, there's only three of a certain grade three for the lyrical uh, decks. That there's only three to a case.
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't heard about that because
Mm.
there was multiple like I said, I've only had one person that opened a case had multiple playsets of everything. The big
Hmm.
thing was the special reprint. So that's Emmeline, Yuika, Halbei, Wild Intelligence for some reason. Um, Bulbamine, I think, is a special reprint.
That's interesting.
And Shelling Cannon Dragon were two, essentially two per case.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I don't know what Bushiroad's deal is about just like being stingy on these reprints. Just give them to us.
Yeah, I'm confused. Yeah, it's very confusing because like you announce a reprint, you're like, all right, good, it's needed, whatever. And then they do stuff like reduce the amount that you can get. Makes no
Hmm.
sense to me as well. But I mean,
Because we saw that before with like set. What was it? Set seven, set eight with the reprints, and there were like one of each per case, and then you get an extra one. It
yeah. That was the one that had.
was Minerva, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was Minerva Rising. I don't remember exactly, but it was one that had
Mm. Like Inlet and
Inlet Pulse, yeah,
Swirler.
swirler
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's a little strange. I mean, I guess it's the Bouchard way until they figure out kind of what's going on fully. But it's an interesting way to kind of take the approach of like announce the reprints, everybody gets excited, and then you kind of do something like, oh, it's only two per case.
Yeah. I guess it's their way of encouraging you to buy more cases,
Oh, it doesn't really do
which
that
is terrible.
because
Yeah, don't do that.
it doesn't
Don't do
really
that.
do it doesn't really do all that. It kind of just kind of discourages people from like trying to get stuff.
Yeah.
It was
I'm just
Dragon
joshing.
Tree Invasion. That's the one
Oh,
that
so
had
set nine. Okay.
that was a set that had Brainwash Swirler, Inlet Pulse, and stuff like that. But luckily, like
Hmm.
because I guess some of the uses of like Inlet and Swirler have gone down, like other cards have come out. Those have gone down in price naturally.
Hmm.
But you know, there's we're still like in a weird loop where there's like promos that are coming out that are super needed. Like they announced the August promos, right? With
Woo!
which are actually
Woo!
insane, insane as far as like you have the Minerva
Oh,
promo in
God.
there, you have the Magnolia promo in there. You have the Virena promo in there that gets you the trick stars and all the dress and drops, like instead of all going to bind. So
It's
there's
a
a lot
Maelstrom
of
promo in there, baby. It's a
yeah,
Maelstrom promo in there, baby.
yeah, sure. Yeah, there's a
Okay.
Maelstrom promo. There's the Steam Performer, which is Fluky Air, and then you have the Altar Eclipse Moonlight
Looks sick.
with the
Looks
one Shadow
fantastic.
Army dude kind of walking without a purpose. You know,
Trying to find my way back to the field.
yeah, trying to find his way back to the field somehow. But like, it's and then a plant token. I would feel so bad if I pulled a plant token.
I feel like crap.
Which I don't know. I thought we were moving towards like that stuff being box hoppers is what I thought they announced, but I guess not. I guess that was
Guess
all
not.
made up.
Well, when has Boucher ever been true to their word on these things, my guy? It's
I
very rare.
think I don't know if it's true to their word. I think it's vague enough that we're like, oh yeah, awesome, and then something happens. Like the tournament pack for Worlds. The tournament pack for Worlds is kind of crazy as well.
Hmm.
Um, as far as like with the mask, but then they're coming out with like a mask set on its own, I guess, with like that's like $60.
Yeah, that special set that they were announcing, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's in it. I know there's a playmat and there's some stuff, but it's like $50 to $60 or $70, but it only comes with two masks.
That's
So like,
well, you're buying two masks like at market value, and then you're getting other stuff with it. So I guess that's one way to look at it.
well, the frame rare mask is $25.
Right. So wait. So do you get the full frame rares?
I don't know. Like
Oh well.
we don't know what's in it. That's the
Right.
thing. They haven't announced what's in it, but so it was essentially the price was leaked by 50. Um,
Okay.
so like it's like one of those things like it's $50 for two mask.
I mean, it's like what, like 25 for a regular one. So like two masks for that, and then you get
No,
a
it's
mat.
25 for a frame rare one. A regular one's
Oh,
only
so how
like
much is a regular one?
$15. A regular one's like $15. But then don't forget you get the promo also in at Springfest that has that mask as well.
Right.
So we've had a bunch of masks.
Yeah, but the one that we get at Springfest is not. It's that one with the guy on it, right? So I don't think it looks as good. That one looks a little weird.
Yeah. Well, we know the contents, I guess, as far as
Hmm.
like the yeah, Vicious is right. Someone in chat. We know the contents of the Masquerade set, right?
Yeah.
Um, I guess we don't know what it looks like. Is what I should correct.
So I actually don't know what's in it. So what is in it? Like, what do they tell us?
So you get a playmat.
Yeah,
All right.
that's it.
Hold on.
Okay.
You get a storage box. Whoop de doo.
Okay.
You get some counters. You get like a marker. You get first and second. You get a first and second thing, like six of them
Okay.
apparently. A fighter coin, some dividers, and two masks.
Why? Why do you need six going first and going second?
So what I'm thinking is like it's gonna be the normal. It's gonna be the normal mask, right? The normal
Hmm.
looking mask, like
Hmm.
probably common.
Hmm.
Knowing
Oh,
the
oh, oh, yeah.
then it's gonna have a mat of the mask itself.
Okay.
So
What I don't understand is why announce that.
why they would release it at all? Yeah, me either. But
Yeah, you're right. But why announce it like I think a week or two before you revealed on stream that the mask is getting reprinted in set 12?
look, man, I don't know.
That there's some interesting decisions happening over there, Bushi
Look,
HQ.
I don't know. We asked for like specific promos and specific cards to be reprinted. What we're getting is more
Not that.
masks.
More mask because everybody was complaining. Because everybody started complaining about the Dragon Tree markers, so they gave us more Dragon Tree markers. Everybody started complaining about the masks. Now we're getting more masks. We need to complain about the things that actually matter,
Yeah. So
guys.
the tournament pack, right, has the mask in it. I know it has the guy
Hmm.
on it, but it's still a mask. I really do not care. If I
Hmm.
needed a card, I need a card. It is what it is.
Right.
But you get them obviously one for entering. Broken Toys is in there, which is nice. But
That is nice.
you also get them for free fighting, which they're bringing back, so you can actually play for more tournament packs.
Hmm.
Um, obviously, it's one of those. If you lose early, go free fight and hang out for the day. But man, that it just feels weird. It feels like a weird spot to keep throwing mask at us.
It's that meme of like the guy holding all the masks. Like, I don't know what to do with it all. It's a lot of masks.
Yeah, a lot of the decks only really play two, right?
Yeah.
Um, and they're still available. Obviously, Zorga mask still coming out. Uh, Greedon mask still on the way. But you can still pick up your mask for like $15. It's not too expensive. And that set, as far as Dragon's Masquerade, is it's still available. Yeah, no, that's the game. There's still a lot of that floating around.
Hmm.
What I'm surprised it hasn't gone up really are the cyclers, because I think once that's gone, those are the ones that aren't going to be reprinted that a lot of people are going to be looking for.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I was looking at some the other day. They're like pretty cheap. They're like the $2-3 mark. It's really good. You should pick them up now.
Yeah, the only one
Price of
obviously the
everything.
exception is probably Spiral Cutie Angel, who's at 13, and then
Hmm.
Habitable Zone is at 9. Still fairly cheap.
Okay.
The other ones are pretty low.
Yeah.
Especially the Soikea one, which kind of stuns a whole column, which is interesting because I feel like the use in premium is very, very good for that one.
Really good. I thought it stunned the front row. Does it stun a column?
Kind of boss one, your opponent can't intercept all of your. Oh yeah, your front row can't stand. No, never mind.
Oh,
That's
that's
better than
even
what I
worse.
thought.
Ugh.
That's better than what I thought. But yeah, the entire front row can't stand. It's I don't know. I think there'll be a lot of uses for it later on in different
Oh
decks.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's Persona Ride reliant, so I guess that's why like it's hard to play like outside of Overdress.
Do you keep Persona Ride if you stride over it?
Yeah, because Persona Ride's the mechanic. Yeah,
Yeah. So okay. Okay.
it's
There's a
like
lot of
it's just
utility.
like when you revolve dress and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You keep the Persona Ride power.
Right. Right.
It's a mechanic of the game. But yeah. I'm kind of excited for Springfest. They've announced locations for us. I would say us as an NA because I think there's still more stuff coming soon because they've only announced a few locations as far as like Toronto seems to be the first one in September. I don't see anything happening on August. So things like September is the very first wave of things. We have Toronto, we have Illinois, Rosemont, essentially White Plains coming back, which is interesting. Richmond, Mexico doesn't have a city; it just says Mexico, so who knows where that's going. Duluth and Anaheim have been announced, at least for the like I said, for the NA side of things, right? Any plans on your side? Which one you're going to?
Oh yeah, we're going to White Plains, baby. If we go X2, we going to drop, and we're gonna go right down the road to the H Mart and get some food.
Trying to figure out as far as like because like EU doesn't have any locations, and then the only set dates for Asia Oceanic is the Philippines. It's at the end of September, and then Australia in November. So Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia are locations. They just have TPD for everything. And EU, my EU people, man, I really want to bring someone from EU on the show one day. Probably do it on a Saturday, have like a Saturday podcast because I need to know their pain as far as like certain things because I feel like distribution they have issues with. They have issues with like stuff going on with like their promos. They have issues with like stuff like literally 0 locations. They don't have any.
Yeah, they have to travel so far to play. I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, I don't know, so I want to get that perspective. So I'll probably ask around to see if anybody wants to come on, because like it's. Is there an H Mart near White Plains? Yes, there is. Down Central Avenue.
Yes, there is.
All the way down Central Avenue, there is an H Mart, Fuzzy.
I'll take you, Fuzzy. We'll go. We got some fucking Korean barbecue. It's gonna be fantastic.
There's the White Plains is evolving, but
it is.
It's as far as the meta itself, right? I don't think anything's really changed other than the addition of Willista. I still think the same kind of big dogs as far as like the decks are kind of it. What is your opinion on like the current meta, I guess, of the game?
Yeah, no, I agree there. I don't see much change other than the addition of Willista. We're probably going to see more Willista than anything else. But it's going to be Willista Gandiva, like left and right. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm on the Willista Gandiva. Chronojet is still very, very good. Hexorb, I think, is solid as well.
Hexward slapped me at the cup, dude. Holy crap. That was some strong stuff.
Hexorb, very, very solid as well. Zorga, here's the thing. A lot of people like Zorga. A lot of people don't play Zorga well.
Yeah, that's me. I love the way that deck plays. I cannot figure it out for the life of me. Like, I need to watch a video, like a step-by-step tutorial.
there's the thing is that there's no real step-by-step tutorial because there's so many options and different lines of play that you can mess up turn one as far as searching the wrong order, and you're screwed for the entire game when you don't even know it. You will not know it. You can use your order at the wrong time and not know it.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, there's so many lines of play, so many different options that can chain into so many different things. There's no absolutely right way to play Zorka. There's very wrong ways to play it, but there is not a very like distinct correct way to play it. Because every time I play the deck, there are different lines of play that happen. The only constant is Prison Dragon. That's really the only constant that you have in that deck. Now, essentially, when set 11 comes out, especially when you can search top 7 for a card, that becomes even more consistent as far as Prison Dragon, I believe. But I don't think there's a completely 100%. Oh, you must do this, but there's definitely you should not do this.
Right. And I guess that's what I got to figure out.
There's a lot more you should not do this in Zorga.
Yeah, I think that's what I need because I need to know what not to do because there have been times when I was testing that deck out and I'm like, okay, I've got Prison Dragon on proc, like he's gonna come back, but where do I call it? Do I call it over the grade 2 that bounces something, or do I like? It's my board feels so cramped sometimes. I need to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, dude, you call over your units all day as long as 2 Prison Dragons are out there. I don't give a damn about what was on the board before because those do not have plus 10k in a crit. So
you're right. You're right.
I'll call over those all day. It's just what order to play, when to play it, when to
Hmm.
push and stuff like that, when not to. Yeah, there it's a lot. It's a lot kind of going on, and to give people too many choices may not be necessarily the best thing.
Yeah, as an aggro player myself, it's a learning curve with like a mid range deck. So like I gotta hold back sometimes. I'm like, but I want to run. I want to do it now.
I want to run full speed ahead, and that works sometimes. Like I said, like
Sometimes.
there's times where you can dunk on someone before they even get to grade 3, but it depends on kind of like what triggers are in, what triggers are out. It's there's a lot going on. There's a lot you got to pay attention to.
Hmm.
Um, Whereas other decks, you really mainly got to pay attention to kind of your opponent's deck and like what they have and kind of got going on, and your deck will kind of play itself.
Right.
I say that as if like I haven't seen people hold cards on Gandiva and they can just swing with like a trigger and it's like 35k, but they keep the trigger in hand for whatever reason, not push for game.
Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. It's like if they live, like no, like that's that they're not gonna live. You just gotta go.
I'm choosing for them not to lose. So yeah, what's a shop challenge in Northern Virginia? Is a shop called Boba Hero or something like that. Pretty nice shop as far as like the stuff that they had.
That's relatively new, I think.
I have no clue. It was in Northern Virginia.
Okay,
I've never been there. They don't
I've
apparently
seen
run in
their
locals,
ads.
but they had a shop challenge. Leo ended up
Hmm,
winning that one with Wallista.
nice.
Um, we
He didn't play Gandiva. Oh man.
no. It was weird. It's a weird tournament. Like I said, the place was nice because it was like in a mall. The
Hmm.
tournament itself was weird because it was like people play, you pay $10, whatever. Uh, it was a cut top eight, but top eight didn't play it out. It was just played to an undefeated. So I was like, why would you cut the top eight? And they gave an extra promo, and then that was it. Kind of like they gave like no prizing, which is kind of weird because
That's
they
weird.
didn't. Why would we pay for the entry? Because they didn't give out anything that they bought because you get
Right.
the shop challenge stuff for free. So it was weird. Whatever. But
Not
Leo
even
ended
a
up winning that
coupon
one.
for a free boba.
Yeah, like nothing. It was weird. But like I said, they had some cool stuff up there though, as far as like figures and stuff like that.
Hmm.
One of their shops not too far from them did have Shadowverse though, so that was cool.
Oh,
So
that's
we
cool.
bought the hottest Shadowverse box on the planet, which had like a Forte, a Bell Ringer, all that stuff, and Lucifer also. Sick box,
Man,
baby.
I
Anyway,
want that for
let's not get into Shadowverse
Yeah, yeah.
just yet.
Just
We'll
yet.
talk about Shadowverse a little bit later. Uh, but as far as Vanguard itself, any locals you go to this week? Nothing.
Uh, this week, other than
Last week,
just
I
Toy
guess.
Wiz. Hmm?
No, I mean last week. I guess it was just the boy ways. What'd you play? How'd you do?
Yeah, no, we played Toys. We played Messiah. Had a lot of fun with it. Came in third, I think. Yeah, came in third. Oh man, the last round, absolutely sacked the crap out of my opponent. That was just the funniest thing. It was just, last Vanguard check was crit over trigger. I was like, oh, this is so good. I'm having a lot of fun with Messiah right now. Like I know it's not one of the best decks, but it's fun to pilot. It's just so fun to play. It feels so satisfying.
No, I got you. And Messiah did to do some work. I think the timing of it that it kind of came out
Hmm.
kind of I guess slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Mainly because like you need a board presence, and with the heavy retire that Gandiva has, it kind of affects you more than affects your line of play more than everything anything else.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess the really other than that, like I played Zorg as usual, only lost to Alista, which is fine. Other than that, like there's nothing crazy really locals that happened on my side because I was kind of taking a break from like the Legacy Cup and organizing that. So I was like, I need to not play card games for a little bit and just kind of chill.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's a relatively chill week last week. Don't expect a lot of turnout tomorrow. Good old Oppenheimer Barbie coming out, so probably everybody's gonna be gone watching movies.
Oppenheimer, Barbie. What
Oh.
order would you watch those in?
I would watch Oppenheimer first and then watch Barbie just for a palate cleanser because I know it's like Oppenheimer's gonna be a heavy movie, dude. Like that, it's a 3 hour movie.
Jeez, yeah, I would. Yeah, I got you. Definitely don't want to end with the
No,
Oppenheimer thing.
you want to end with something light and bubbly, not like Cillian Murphy sitting there smoking a cigarette, just depressed that he just murdered 80,000 people.
Oh man, but going into back to kind of circle it back.
Hmm.
Next set for us is set 11, which is what, September?
Yes.
Because now
What?
we don't have anything till September now, right? Because August is pretty much like that was it.
Yeah, I think it's just set
So yeah, September
11.
15th is the next set essentially.
Yeah.
We're done in August. Essentially, 2 weeks. Ed is going to Gen Con. I'm going to Gen Con. So
Whoop.
I'll vlog that. We still have to put up the VA Beach vlog technically.
Yes, we do.
I got to work on that and get that out there. So we probably won't be around next week because I got to get ready for Gen Con. But we'll bring you all that content and all of that. Actually, I won't be around that Thursday either because it is Gen Con that weekend. Oh, you know what I'll do?
Yeah.
You know what I'll do?
Mm.
You and Evan run it. I'll call in from Gen Con.
Coming live from Jungle, you got like
Yeah.
cosplayers in the background.
I'll go to the Boucheron booth, get some people, talk to some people, and get live, like a live at Gen Con video.
Oh my god, that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
amazing.
like acting like a what is it? A news reporter out there coming to live from Gen Con here.
Legacy TV. Do do do.
Exactly. Uh, Good thing about the gap, I guess, in between sets is there are some cards that are dropping in price as far as full frame rares.
Hmm?
So Zorga Mask would be one of them.
Those have drops in. I was looking at that.
Kolga Flan, which is the cycler for Dragon Empire, going down.
Hmm.
Aquamarine is going down. Jeweled Mask, Biko Mask is at $30 now. Same thing with Leonore dropping. So like there are some affordable cards coming through. As far as like on Dragon Masquerade side, but
Hmm.
then you got the opposite effect essentially with Festival. Festival's just I don't know what's going on there because I feel like there's so much Festival available still, and it's just cards going up. As
Yeah,
far
I
as
agree. Like
the red
I'm
OT going up to like $20 and not
debating
enough.
buying a box just to pull, yeah, the red OT or the Regalis piece.
Yeah, the Regalis piece of Surrogate Straw Dog went up.
Hmm.
Um, but there's some cards I guess going up and down. I don't know why specifically those because there's so many available, and like I said, there's so many boxes still available. I would not have guessed that Straw Doll Surrogate would have went up $10 like overnight.
Hmm.
Like it's a one of like we kind of discussed that earlier. Same thing with the OT, it's a one of, but there's so many cards available still, and so many boxes available that it's if you're trying to buy an OT right for $20, you might as well take the chance to buy the $35 box or $37 on TCG.
Right.
At that point,
At that point in gamble, right? Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's just the new toy hype. I'm sure it'll die down in like a week or two.
Oh, hopefully, but like it's one of those things like on release day it was much lower,
Hmm.
which is like that's kind of the alarming thing. It's the fact that it was on release day so much lower than that. Obviously, they have like the what is it called? The cycler for Bermuda being like $18 makes sense because it's four of,
Hmm.
or I believe it's like a three or four of in the deck because it gives your front row continuous +5, which is nice.
Yeah.
At the Persona ride, and with it being a cycler itself, like it's you know card kind of good, you know.
Cyclers are good. It just, some decks utilize them way better than others,
What are your thoughts
unfortunately.
on the grade threes as far as like if your opponent check a trigger, +10 shield or +10 power, and then each of them have like a different over trigger effect?
Yeah, some of them are better than others, obviously. Out of the boxes I bought, I did pull a full frame rare one for Dragon Empire, so that was nice. But the strongest ones I think are the Brancate one because it gives itself boost as a grade 3, which is just strong. So a 28k booster is really, really strong. Um, and I think if I'm remembering correctly, the
Well, 28 minimum because it can go plus 10 if they hit a trigger.
Right. And then there's the Stoicheia one that grabs back an order or a unit from drop. That one's
It's
strong.
just a unit. It's just a unit.
It's just a unit. Okay, yeah. So yeah, grabs a unit back from drops. That's strong.
So
I
it
think
gets
those
plus
two are good.
5 for Soul Charge 1, which the Soul Charge 1 is kind of huge in some decks.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll get, depending on what you discarded, if it's normal units, you only get plus 5. If it's 2 non normal units, you get plus 15. So if you make the mistake of, discarding, I guess, an OT or something, in an order, you'll get plus 15, and then you can remove the OT to get a unit card from drop. So usually you can get a PG if you need it and add it to hand because it doesn't specify.
Right. That where it discards like 2 non-unit cards. The only thing I could think of is like for Zorga to dump your orders, but I
Well,
don't
it's
I
at
don't
the
know
top,
how.
so you never know. Kind of like,
Oh, it's not from hand. It's off top.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you would. Yeah, if you accidentally mill the over trigger, it's just sad. Like, oh, there it goes.
And then obviously the Counter Sanctuary, which is Sagus. Choose one of your
Sag.
opponent's power 1400 or greater Vanguard and increase this unit's power by that power.
That is fun,
Yeah.
and
You hit an OT? Yeah, me too.
me too, bro. Here we go. Woo!
So that helps out a lot for like Bastion and stuff like that because it's a grade 3. It does gain shield. There's no real way to get intercept. Obviously, you can use a shield from hand, but then it's removed from over trigger. Choose one of your front row units and give plus 15. So it's a lot of pressure there because you can get plus 15 to your Vanguard because it's just one of your units.
Right.
So that one's pretty solid as well.
And then we didn't touch the Dark State one.
The
I don't know
Dark
what
State
that one
one, Casualty Dragon.
I like the art.
Yeah, very cool art. When it attacks, you can't boost it. It can't be boosted. Well, it can, but when it attacks while not boosted, you choose another rear guard in the same column, put into soul. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it. It gets plus 5. So it's an 18k. And then remove an OT. Your opponent cannot call grade 1s or graders cards to Guardian Circle until the end of that battle. So the only use I can think of is like Chrono Jet. Because you can time leap into it with Fate Rider.
Yeah, Fate Rider onto a grade 2.
Yeah, turn a grade 2 into that, and then maybe put some guard pressure, depending on what they have in their hand.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like no Sentinels. Later on, obviously, it's huge because it'll be like plus whatever the crest is.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So, not too bad of a card itself. The Kagura one, like so far, like they're all pretty solid. I don't know if any of them are like specifically like a 4 of, unless it's like a very specific deck. The Kagura one is kind of +1. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards are retired. If you didn't retire, draw a card, and then it just gets plus 15. Essentially, that's the weakest one. Realistically,
that is the weakest one.
Because even like the lyrical one is a ghost. Is the first thing because that works with Felty Rosa. And then this is Soul Blast. Choose one of your other units in the same column. Return it to hand. Remove an over trigger. Choose up to one card with grade less or equal to your Vanguard. Call it to rear guard circle. So you can chain attacks essentially with it.
I think that's like the strongest one.
I think I still like the Brankate one a little bit more. No,
Okay.
I lied. I like the Keter one a little bit more than that. Because like I said, it gets the power of whatever is 14 or greater.
You're right. That is strong. Just saying no to defensive triggers is quite funny.
Yeah. Depending on your attack pattern, because sometimes it might not matter, but I think that's the strongest one.
Yeah.
This one's good. Like I said, it's a ghost. It works with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. I think the Keter one's the only one you really play 4 of if you're playing like Bastion.
Yeah, well,
it's good grade 3.
Because you can, yeah. Because you can.
Yeah.
I hope so. In Bastion.
We're getting a new Bastion soon, so that's cool.
Who knows? New Bastion, new Youth Berk, new Virena. Where's the new Magnolia?
Hey, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
I don't think it's broken, but it's definitely not fixed.
It needs a tune-up.
yeah. We need an oil change. The only other thing I guess is like the other Regalia piece, which is Evergreen Transfer.
Yeah, not seeing as much play as I thought it would.
It's because it's an order, right? It makes it difficult, right? It's a blitz order. You can only really play one blitz order per turn. So like you have Sanctitude or this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Stride deck still existing, you still want to discard Sanctitude for free. I mean, this getting the plus 25k can help, like early on. But as far as like the, -1 crit for like the 100 million, because like until the end of turn, the only end of turn one that like matters. So let's say, right, Stoic K adds a crit, so it's still going to be 2 crit from the Vanguard. So you'll -1, so you'll take 1 damage, okay, but you still got to worry about like the, well, not even, because the 100 million odds are, well, let's say if it goes to Vanguard, right, you'll take 1 from the Vanguard. Phantom Rose still has plus 10, an additional plus 10, all that other stuff. Brand over trigger, this doesn't matter at all.
No, it doesn't.
What else? I guess Kagura, the Kagura one, sure. You'll get the -1 crit for the turn. They'll still get their drive checks and their extra cards. The Dark States one, they'll still take a crit because it's +1 crit. Then what else is it? Bermuda, Lyrical one doesn't matter because it's giving all your rear guards plus 10k, and your odds are you're chaining your attacks with your rear guards. So I don't think it really matters. Like the use of it isn't as,
it's not as good as we thought.
as good as it's rated. If it would have made it like you make its critical 0, then it's like, all right, cool, I take no damage from something.
Right.
But it's not that.
Yeah, unfortunately it is underwhelming, but it is what it is. We got some good stuff out of it, so one stinker is not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a stinker per se, like, but because obviously you can't play Sanctitude in like every deck, like your deck with Dark Force and stuff like that. So like, maybe you can play this in Magnolia, but at the same time, why would I play this over the Surrogate Doll? I don't know.
I think it's the Regalis piece is what like sucks about it, because then you got the choice, and you'd rather be playing something else that could grab you certain grade 3s that you need.
Yep. I think we've been Festival Collection as far as we could, pretty much. Like, other than that, like,
one last thing, the triggers, the new triggers, those are cool. I like those, giving us more options.
The new set of triggers, like the normal 15k 5s. Yep. No, those are good. And then the alt arts as far as Fasado and Very Narcs are pretty nice as well.
They are.
I will say that. Were there any other alt arts? I think that was it, right? Marjorie. Marjorie was pretty cool too. All right, let's take a short water break, all that stuff. Everybody get rehydrated and all that, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Legacy Podcast. Of course, it's July the 20th, uh, towards the end of the month of July, of course. And you gotten you guys have gotten your July promos yet?
What's the
Sancti-
July?
Sanctitude,
No,
it's
not yet.
henceforth. I think they're reprinting that one.
Unfortunately, not yet. No, the shop is currently trying to figure that situation out right now.
Unfortunately, hey, we just got our first wave, and it's this last Monday, which was July 17th. So you see, 2 weeks into it, we finally got some July promos going on. But good to
Hey,
see.
better late than never, man.
Yeah,
Better late
exactly.
than never.
Good to see that it's not just us going. But let me shift gears a little bit to the new game that had just come out fairly recently, which is Shadowverse Evolve.
Let's do that.
Kind of been taking over my local area. Everybody's talking about playing Shadowverse, getting Shadowverse if they can. What about you? I don't know how it's been on your side of the wall. The thing of
Yeah,
both.
it's a small group, but yeah, same. Everybody's kind of like on the Shadowverse hype. Everybody wants to play it, or the people who want to play it don't want to spend money on it yet, so they want to test it out. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I think the next set is set 2, also September.
It is September. Yeah.
Which is interesting. I feel like the set 1 Advent of Genesis pretty much solved as far as like there's Dragon and then trying to beat Dragon essentially. Some people playing different decks as far as like Swordcraft and Runecraft. I think the Dimension Shift is the next biggest deck, and then you have like Haven and stuff like that. So the deck itself, I think it's very similar to like old Hearthstone. I would not say like current Hearthstone because that's die roll like things coming out of nowhere type of deal with Hearthstone now. But I think it's reminiscent of like the old Hearthstone. Or if anybody ever played, Shadowverse on the phone or whatever it is, or was it Rage of Bahamut?
That's the set 2. Yeah.
No. That's what it used to be. Shadowverse.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think that was the name of the game before.
Got it.
If I
Okay.
remember, I don't remember exactly.
But no, I agree. Shadowverse feels very much like early Hearthstone. Like every time I play Ward, I think about the 4/5 Goblet Castingo.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the 4/5 creature that comes in and has blocker or taunt. It has taunt. It's like Castingo. It comes in and like it's just a vanilla blocker. It was so fun to play because it just had the funniest voice line.
No, the other than that, game is pretty solid. I think really easy to learn and play. Obviously, the demo caravan is still kind of going around, which you can find out more information on the Shadowverse Evolve website itself.
I saw a picture of a caravan that was like somewhere in Europe, and it looked so hype. The amount of people there, it looked like so much fun. I wanted to go.
Yeah, I think the thing with Shadowverse, I think can reach an audience outside of like the Vanguard side of things because it has a lot of similarities to, I guess, Magic and interaction stuff like that. So obviously, side games have been around for a while. So we'll see kind of how it goes because the current, I guess, road to Worlds for Shadowverse is reminiscent of like the first time Vanguard did their stuff, which is shop challenge to regionals, from the regional to essentially Worlds. Because their regional is invite only.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Not
Yeah.
something you just kind of show up to.
No, it's not something you just show up to. You go from regionals, from the shop challenge, which are those things that are happening. I think there's one next Friday at shop in Jersey. Final turn.
Yes, final turn. There you go. I was like, oh,
No,
man.
I lied. It's a card quest, I think.
That's in Queens.
Yeah, so it's a card quest. There is one in at final turn that weekend as well. It's like final turn, Silk and Silk Road Gaming and Card Quest all have their shop challenges that same weekend.
I love that it's picking up. Like it's kind of just take it off the hit the ground running. So that feels good.
Yeah, Card Quest July 28th, and then July 30th is Silk Road. Maybe it wasn't. What's it called? Final Turn. Maybe Final Turn already had theirs. But yeah, this
Fun
is.
Turn already had theirs, yeah.
Oh well, that sucks. Well, you didn't know about it. You didn't go.
No, I didn't know about it until I saw the post, so I was like, oh,
Unfortunate.
but it was on a day I couldn't go anyway, so it's fine, it's all good.
He says in pain.
Yeah, shh.
But
I cry as I sleep.
a lot of good art in the game. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised because it's side games itself. But I think it's gonna do better than a lot of the other Bushiroad games that have come out. But the timing of it that it's come out is kind of weird. Fuzzy said Final Turn did not have their shop challenge yet.
Oh, wait,
Wait, I don't.
I
He
think
may have
I
been
think you meant for
confused.
Vanguard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not for
I'm.
Shadowverse. For Shadowverse, they may have had theirs already.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they have V shop challenge this Saturday,
Whoop, whoop.
so that should be interesting. But yeah, Shadowverse is pretty neat. I like it a lot.
Mhm.
I like it so much that I'm gonna get more cards. I'm like I got an addiction for buying Shadowverse boxes now.
Do you really? Oh no. Well, I don't blame you. I mean, like, it's honestly so fun to crack Shadowverse boxes. I think I've bought like 6 so far in my entire career, and I'm like, this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money.
But yeah, pretty good game. I think more and more people in my area are definitely picking it up, which is crazy to think of.
Mhm.
But we are gonna have like a Shadowverse Cup on August the 18th at Booster Box again. But Booster Box wants to run another one. Trophy is gonna be for first. We're working on other stuff since it's still super early. And because I am the one kind of pretty much organizing it, not the 18th, it's going to be August 19th. It's a Saturday.
Mm.
So 4 weeks from now, essentially Shadowverse event, community ran should be fun.
Maybe I'll show up. Maybe we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. But that's going to happen August 19th. Obviously, expect the same pricing, essentially, almost similar to like what the Legacy Cup was.
Hmm.
So probably like we'll except for the trophy. The trophy's gonna be like the first, I guess, new thing kind of in there where they're trying to get play mats for top eight, and then I think last time top eight split it was 2 boxes per person, which is kind of a lot for a 30-person tournament. So
Ooh,
like,
2 boxes of Shadowverse per person is gonna be nuts.
yeah, if it's like that, but obviously they split though, so that was different. Maybe in
Right.
Shadowverse Realm they won't split, but it's still Swiss top eight. I'm trying to debate if it's best 2 out of 3 or best of one, because Shadowverse is a little bit of a different game. It takes a little bit longer sometimes
Hmm.
for things to happen.
Yeah.
But best of one sometimes feels bad too in Shadowverse because you can open shit and not be able to
Mm.
do anything. So we'll see. But it's gonna be that set one meta because it is August. So we'll see how people kind of evolve their decks and kind of evolve their decks
Even. Ooh,
from now and then, and how people play around US and
that's a
stuff
bar.
like that. Because like there are definitely a lot of different card pools. Like I said, I think the meta is solved. I think Dragon is very obviously the best. Personally,
Hmm.
that's what I think. But I still think there are some decks that can take games off of it, and you can pilot things very very differently.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's some rogue decks out there that could really just sweep it out when if they like open the nuts.
Yeah, I don't know if it's rogue per se. Like I said, there's no
You don't think so?
real. No. I don't think it's rogue per se because like I think it's there are like I said there's the deck to beat. I think that would be it. But
Hmm.
like you still have sword, you still have dimension shift. Everything else as far as like is pretty much even.
Hmm.
Like obviously you can build a ass deck, but but most of the time everything is pretty much even or across the board. Besides dragon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm playing Dragon right now, and it's. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I like have just some of the weirdest bricks sometimes. Everything costs so much, and then I don't draw the cards that give me more things, and it's like, oh. But it is a strong deck. I agree.
Yeah, I mean there's just because like I said we don't have like the restriction list or anything that JP would have.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess the only thing would be Shenlong would be put at
Shenlong too
one.
good.
He would be put at one. That really is the only difference.
It's a strong card. Strong card.
from anything out there. But other than that, like set one, set two, like Swordcraft is pretty simple, depending on what you kind of want to go with.
Hmm.
Same thing, like I said, we talked about Dimension Shift Rune, Nightmare, Roach Forest, and then people playing like what's the other forest? Rose Queen and like all the other stuff
Okay.
to like deal damage and do it down like certain stuff.
Right. Just ping something, bounce it, ping it, bounce it, ping it. Yeah.
Ping it, bounce it, ping it, bounce, ping.
I love that. I love that card, dude. It's so fun. Just whoop whoop whoop.
Blow up a bunch of stuff, ping it, all that stuff. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I think I got Gen Con coming up for me, not for anybody else. That's gonna be fun. Like I said,
Buy
I'm
me
trying to
things.
grab,
I pay you money.
They have. I know they had like a Vanguard event there that I did sign up for. They have like a Vanguard tournament for Standard, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know how many people will actually sign up, but Disney Lorcana pretty much took over that con. All of that's sold out, and then there's nothing too crazy like as far as like going on kind of like at Gen Con. I'm just going around collecting promos and stuff like that for like every game. Oh,
Hell yeah.
Vicious has called no V in the upcoming Japan season for major tournaments, but premium is still there. Do we think next Springfest V is going to be gone? I say yes, absolutely.
I also say yes, and I think it's going to be replaced by Shadowverse.
I don't know if it's going to be replaced by Shadowverse per se.
Okay.
Mainly because it's the format that they have right now would not.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the way they're doing it.
They'd have to change the format.
Right.
Now, it's not unheard of a Boucher changing the format with tournaments, because like I said before, as far as like for stand-up cup and stuff like that, it used to be shop challenge to a bigger like single location. So they play at the shop, go to another location as far as like in that state. So it'd be like a state thing, and then they would get invited to like the nationals, I guess it would be, which is like how stand-up cup was ran.
Mm-hmm.
So before you do shop challenge for the certain thing, then you go to that shop championship, not championship, state championship. Then those two or like one person would get their paid invite to the nationals championship. That's how Blue Shooter used to do it.
Okay.
So right now it's shop challenge, invite from shop challenge to nationals to I guess worlds or regionals to worlds. But they're multiple regionals. So like that's the one thing, you can only win one invite to one regional. So it's kind of hard to figure out how Shadowverse kind of figure out their stuff, because their Grand Prix whatever for in Japan had like 1,600 people. So how do you balance that for the U.S. side of things? I don't know. It depends. It's all experimentation, right? Is what they have to see how the numbers do, if it even gets to be coming into Springfest or something like that.
Right. And if the game's even that popular, like over here compared to the East.
Mm-hmm. And if it does come to Springfest, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a team thing.
No, it wouldn't.
So how do you balance it with the other team events, right? Because it would be 3v3, and I guess Weiss's teams also.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, because V's turnout for New York was very small. You were there.
I played in it. Yeah, I was there. Oh God, it was tiny.
It was a
like
very
30
tiny
teams, I think.
Yeah, and I think when you go like asking everywhere else, it was not that many teams kind of signing up for V compared to like Premium. Premium actually had pretty good amounts.
Yeah, they had a good number. Yeah, I actually specifically there were 27 teams for V. I know because we were the last team to sign up.
So like it's hard. It's hard to kind of gauge like where Shadowverse kind of fits into that mold in Springfest, but no V support as far as like there's no product coming out realistically for V, or specifically tailored, I should say, to V.
Yeah, no product at all. All we're getting right now are those like promos, and that's it. I haven't seen anything else.
Yeah, well, not even, because the next couple of steps, right? It's History Collection, which is technically premium, even though it says P and V.
Mm-hmm.
It's more tailored towards premium because like the stuff that's going on with the extra markers and the strides and stuff like that, it's really more premium than it is V for sure on August the 11th. And then after that, it's D until pretty much next year. Realistically, it says like October, but then after that we have like the stride sets for Shiranui and Luard will probably be somewhere maybe December, January timeframe. And then there's like a whole other set as far as like set 13. So I don't know. V is seeming to be dwindling very, very quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they just start like, personally, I don't think they will, but it's a fun idea that they'll just start retconning like old premium cards that didn't see play anymore to like just make markers, keep V quote unquote alive. But yeah, I don't think it's coming around. You sit in silence. It worries me. Did I say something
No, no, no.
dumb?
It's drinking. No, the stuff that's bringing the markers is the strides themselves.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
So it's
if
not
V gets the axe, like they'll just start eroding older cards to give them like effects that make markers.
like the premium stuff. Like keep expanding on premium.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Japan getting rid of V is kind of like an alarming thing.
Hmm.
Because that's usually what Bushido go off of for a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
I think this might be getting towards the end of the road, unfortunately for V.
There goes my hero.
We were supposed to have Idle Orange on. Unfortunately, bad storm in her area.
Ooh,
Knocked out her
yeah.
power, so we'll save that for another time.
Unfortunate.
Um, but I want to go back as far as a little bit with touching on Shadowverse realistically.
Hmm.
2 out of 3 are best of 1. What do you think would work? I gotta plan this thing. I think 2 out of 3. The thing is with the game, right? 20 life. You think it's like,
Hmm.
and then how fast some of the games go. You would think, but 2 out of 3 could take some time, man.
I play when I was there for Legacy Cup after me and Vin were playing the Forest Craft mirror match, and that game lasted like 25 minutes.
Okay.
So like, yeah, it's really a crapshoot. Best of 1 feels bad, but if unless you're willing to run like maybe hour and 15-minute rounds,
No,
then
it'd probably be 60-minute rounds with like
60 minutes.
yeah, and then you still have 0, 1, 2, 3 as far as end around procedures are the same because it's a life
Hmm.
count thing. But I think 60-minute rounds essentially allow for 30 minutes per game should be more than enough.
Yeah. At that point, like if you go into time, it just devolves into playing low cost things and just waiting to swing.
Yeah. I mean, hey, whatever strat you take it, right?
That's the magic way, baby.
When it comes down to it, like hopefully, like obviously we'll have our stuff as far as like slow playing and stuff like that, but
Right. As much as best of 1 is like the easy answer, I think best of 3 is the best, or 2 out of 3 is the best way to go.
I gotcha. No, I kind of agree. I kind of was leaning on that as well. Uh, might do a Umamuse pretty derby play, Matt. You know, get the horse girls going on in there.
Oh my god.
Tell you,
Oh
man,
no.
that's gonna be sick. Everybody's
Are
gonna
we
be
getting
on
that?
top.
Is
Yeah,
that
we get that
confirmed?
in December, confirmed,
Woo.
110%.
I'm just waiting for the Code Geass one.
Yep, that one's next. We're getting that for sure.
Yeah,
So
can't
it
wait.
should be fun. It should be a good time. Like I said, the game itself, I like it a lot. Super easy to learn. Like I said, like they have very like short videos like on the website of how to play and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Obviously, it gets more intricate kind of as it goes. The one thing that I'm looking at like kind of like floor rules and stuff like that because I thought the new game coming out and stuff like that. Future Card Buddy Fight is still on the floor rules for Bushiroad. That game died like
Oh.
how many years ago? They just literally just added Shadowverse and said, "Hey, here you go," which is kind of funny to be honest.
They just laid him out as a floor mat just for us to walk on.
Hey,
That's rough.
it's
Oh, the poor guys.
poor guys and some people will still want that game around. The up
They're
there
playing
are
in the,
some.
the Thailand. Hmm?
What?
I think they're playing in like the Thailand or the Philippines or something. Buddy
Oh,
Fight. I think it's
really?
like somebody's playing it there. Yeah, somebody's playing it there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
I don't believe it till I
just,
see it.
I'm going off of what I saw.
Yeah, I don't
It's
believe it
all
till I see it in my own eyes. I'm like,
that's fair.
all right. I think kind of went over everything I kind of want to go over today. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about like kind of like the World of Worlds and kind of like travel tournaments. We're gonna kind of save that for another day. Uh, we've been going on for like an hour and a half now
About an
almost.
hour and a half now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Set 11. Any decks you're
Yes.
looking forward to?
I'm playing Rora. I'm gonna have so much fun with Rora.
Aroa, I think is gonna be pretty not too strong, but like it's gonna be much stronger than what it was. Mainly
Yeah.
because your Vanguard string with the crit, obviously.
Yeah. We got that
Uh,
bump. We're back. We're in the modern era.
yeah. Vanguard swing with the crit makes a better kind of I guess lines of play because you still have your Randalinas progressively
Mhm.
getting more power.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see like kind of how people build the deck, and we'll move forward with the deck with Roa. I will assume you still play like the same, Randalina, and not only but that the grade 2, but also grade 3. But then you also have Chaos coming in. You have what's their name,
Ava.
Ava, and also
Tamira.
Fox Girl Tamayura.
Yeah.
Tamayura probably getting the biggest boost out of all of them.
Hmm.
Um,
We're missing one.
no, it's Chaos. It's
Oh,
Chaos. Uh,
Ketterbitch.
all right, what's her name? Go ahead. Thegria.
Fegria, thank you. Jesus, I was like, tits, tits, tits.
Yeah. Thagria
Uh,
obviously being in there as well. There's going to be a lot of options because in that set you also have Vermilion kind of being introduced, which wasn't as popular in JP, but maybe more popular here. And then Azel, of course, making his triumphant return.
Hazel and the Vermilion,
Greedon.
right?
Yeah, Vermilion was the first thing I said.
Oh, sorry. And Greedon, yeah, that's right.
and
You
Greedon
Greedon that.
mask.
Yeah.
Clash of Heroes September, so we got like a wait and a half. But it's gonna be interesting because we also have like some of the Youthquake cards coming out from the manga.
Oh, that's right.
You got
Those
the giant arms.
we got Among Us.
You got Among Us. Yep. You got Among Us and
um,
the arms, and then you
and we
have
got
the
the sea creature.
Lapras.
Yeah, yeah, Lapras and Perry the Platypus.
Well, I guess not Lapras. Well, no, it's yeah, kind of.
Nessie, Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's more Lapras. I would say it's Lapras.
But those two
Lapras.
coming into play. I think the arms being like a really cool mechanic as far as
Hmm.
itself. The other one
Yeah.
really is just calling a bunch of cards because you just look at top 7, choose a grade 3 or less, call it a rear guard, and then if your opponent has, oh no, if you have 5 or more units, your opponent discards a card, which is interesting. Saying, hey, look, my board is full, you pay the tax. you know, so that should be interesting. Let's see. Oh, when this
My gang is all
attacks,
here. Pay us money.
yeah. Choose one of your rear guards with Mist Dark in its name. Return to your hand. Choose one unit. Different return for. Oh, okay. So to chain a 4th attack, essentially,
Hmm.
you send out a different Mist Dark thing. Which there aren't that many, which is why I think the deck is just going to be like meh. Because like it's relying on having the name, where the arms, right, are just yo, choose 2 different arms and attach them to this unit, and at the end of the battle, you see the attack. Choose one of your units that's attached. Move it to an open rearguard circle. It
And it
says.
swings.
Hold on. Let me take my gloves off and slap you with my glove. Essentially,
Let me take my glove off. The glove is gonna walk over and punch you.
exactly.
That's fantastic.
So I like that card a lot. It's hilarious.
They're really cool. When I saw them, they reminded me of like Fire and Ice Skin from Yu-Gi-Oh. I was like, wow, this art is it's quite nice.
Dude, the right and left arm
Hmm.
of the right and left arm of the forbidden one. There are if this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater, counterblast 1, draw a card is the left one. The right one is counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or greater, retire it, it gets +5. So it's definitely silhouette is definitely right-handed. Um, because that one has a little bit more oomph in that punch.
That one got a little backhand to it.
Yeah, a little bit of more oomph on there.
Spice. A little spice.
Yeah, a little bit of spice. So it's definitely right-handed. If anybody that should probably be like one of those like trivia questions. Gigant arm silhouette is it right-handed or left-handed? Definitely right-handed for sure.
Oh shit.
All right, other than that, Eddie, you got anything for the chat people? Thank you guys for joining us again this week. We may or may not be back next week. I am going to New York next week because I got to get ready for. I'm kind of flying out of JFK to dox myself and tell other people where I am.
Oh no.
In Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. I'm flying out of JFK. Don't dox me. Don't find me.
Don't find me. Okay. Call the right arm to the left circle just to piss people off, and also play Shadowverse.
Yep, Shadowverse one game. Like I said, August 19th
Mhm.
at the booster box.
Come down. It's a great shot.
Prize
Great
support.
atmosphere.
We'll get the playmat out somehow, some way. I'll figure it out what I'm doing. I don't know if I want it to be like Forte or if I want it to be something else. I'll figure it out. It'll be cool. Trust me. And I'll see Eddie at Locals because he's gonna pick me up to take me to Locals.
This is news to me.
Yeah, he's gonna pick me up on like Friday or Saturday to take me to Locals. One of the two. I don't know which Locals I'm going to. All right, boys. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye. Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye. Bye-bye now.